From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, mass vaccination day one and done. 4 hours of constant shots at the centralized clinic wraps up with nearly 450 Yellowstone County residents halfway vaccinated for COVID-19. Well, a busy afternoon at the Metro Park campus, but local healthcare workers are calling it a success. Q2's Mitch Laggy takes us there.
Dozens of people were lined up outside Cedar Hall on the Metro Park campus in Billings Tuesday to receive their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Over the course of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week, medical staff will administer 2,250 first doses to Yellowstone County residents in groups 1A and 1B here.
I'm very excited. I never thought I'd be happy to get a shot, and yet here I am.
Jeanette Rash and her husband Sean were some of the first to get their vaccination at the Consolidated Community Clinic.
They have it very streamlined. You just come in, they've got lots of people directing traffic, so if you don't know where to go, someone will help you. As far as getting the vaccine, I'm happy to do it because it's important to, as part of a community, if I can get vaccinated, I should get vaccinated.
The couple had previously tried to schedule an appointment at St. Vincent Healthcare in Billings, but they weren't able to secure one.
So when I heard this was happening, I started diving for information and got signed up as soon as I could.
The goal with the centralized Cedar Hall site is that within the coming weeks, Billings Clinic, St. Vincent Healthcare, and Riverstone Health will bring their vaccination efforts completely here, hopefully resulting in less of a headache for people trying to get a vaccine.
From the first time you sign up on the website until you get here, it's super easy. I got lots of email reminders between the time I signed up online and now, so that I knew when my appointment time was, I knew I was confirmed.
The process to fill out paperwork and actually get the shot only took about 10 minutes. And before people leave their 15 to 30-minute observation period to head home, they will be scheduled for a second dose.
They scheduled it out a month out, and so I'll show up at the time and date that they told me and get my second one, and I didn't even have to, figure anything out. They just had it ready to go.
Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
All right, thanks so much, Mitch. And Mitch tells us all appointments for this week are booked up, but don't worry, there's next week. Well, the new Crow Tribe leadership is now declaring the tribe will continue in a COVID-19 state of emergency. Crow Chairman Frank Whiteclay issued that order this afternoon. Now, it states a stay-at-home order shall be in effect to mitigate the transmission of the virus. Tribe members must continue to use face masks when outside their homes and must social distance. Now, the executive branch is also urging families to stay home and is requesting schools continue online. And the order requires mandatory and daily temperature logs at any establishment where a person will remain longer than 30 minutes. Well, the cold weather causing massive power outages in Texas is also impacting some people in eastern Montana. Much of the nation's midsection is served by Southwest Power Pool. This is the first time in 80 years a wholesale power supplier has been forced to trigger rolling blackouts to keep its grid stable. Two electric co-ops in eastern Montana, Norval, based in Glasgow, and Macone Electric, based in Circle, were forced to cut electricity to thousands of customers for about an hour today to help reduce power consumption across the grid. While other major power suppliers to the area have not been affected, Yellowstone Valley Electric, Northwestern Energy, and the Montana Dakota Utilities have not had any supply issues so far. Now, both Macone and Norval could experience additional blackouts tonight and Wednesday. Well, today, Montana lawmakers at the state capitol heard testimony on a bill that supporters say would ensure the right of religious freedom. But opponents worry it could open the door to discrimination. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian breaks down the debate.
The Senate Judiciary Committee held a lengthy hearing Tuesday on Senate Bill 215, sponsored by Republican Senator Carl Glimm of Kyla. The bill is titled as a Religious Freedom Restoration Act, and supporters say a number of states have adopted their own versions in recent years. SB 215 would say state and local governments can only put a burden on a person or organization's right to free exercise of religion if their action is essential to further a compelling governmental interest and the least restrictive means of achieving that. Supporters say they want to ensure potential impacts on someone's religion are considered with the highest scrutiny in courts. But opponents say the language is broader than other similar laws, and it would encourage challenges to existing laws, particularly local non-discrimination ordinances. During the hearing, Senator Bryce Bennett, a Democrat from Missoula and member of the LGBT community, asked Glim to justify the potential impacts of the bill.
This bill is very personal to me, and the testimony that we heard today was personal to me as well, because I have lived those experiences. This bill would allow people like me to be denied housing, to be kicked out of restaurants, to be denied health care, to be fired from my job, not because of something that I did, but simply because of who I am.
This bill is not a blanket license to discriminate. All this bill does is gives an ability to use religion in the court of law, and those arguments that you are referring to would have to then be worked out in the court. But all the examples that you gave, I don't think a single one of them would qualify under this bill.
Similar bills have been introduced in previous legislatures, including in 2015, when the bill failed on a tied vote in the House. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thanks, Jonathan. And the committee did not take immediate action on the bill today. Well, a bill to make Montana a right-to-work state drew a crowd this morning at its first hearing at the state capitol. And most of those who testified before the House Business and Labor Committee opposed it. House Bill 251 would prohibit requiring anyone to join a labor union as a condition of employment. It also would ban private sector unions from collecting fees from any workers who don't want to join, even if those workers benefit from a bargained contract. The bill's sponsor, Republican State Representative Caleb Hinkle of Belgrade, says workers should not be forced to join or support a union, and that right-to-work states have higher wages and faster-growing economies. The head of the National Right-to-Work Committee says Montana law essentially allows unions to extort fees from workers who don't want their services. But today, scores of Montana union members testified against House Bill 251, saying strong unions lead to good wages and that many studies show right-to-work states have lower wages. And at least two major employers of union workers in Montana, the utility Northwestern Energy and the Stillwater Mine, also came out against the bill, saying it's not needed. Now, the committee took no immediate action on the bill today. Well, parents, if you are looking for a place to let your kids play, interact with others, and even learn, we might have the place for you. The Art of Play indoor play facility reopened in January. Not an easy task during the pandemic. Well, tonight, Q2's Shaquille Kozart shows us how this business was able to bounce back during hard times.
The Art of Play is a family-friendly indoor play space where parents can bring their children 5 and under to enjoy interaction and play with other kids in a safe space. The facility reopened under new ownership in early January, which posed its challenges amid the pandemic.
I was really nervous. Honestly, I was terrified when we first got back to opening up in January. I wasn't sure how it was going to get received by the public.
Butcher said that while she wasn't sure if the public was ready for the Art of Play to reopen at this time, she decided to take a leap of faith.
I've got 3 boys, and if I'm a mom who really just is needing stuff for my kids to do, then I'm sure that other people are feeling the same way.
And Butcher said that after opening, the community response has been positive, with multiple families bringing their kids to play each day.
Now, along with giving parents a place to bring their kids to play and interact with other kids, and even enjoy some coffee at their full coffee bar, Art of Play also has a preschool. This preschool opened in late January, where teacher Nikki Lund, who's been teaching in Billings for 30 years, is teaching kids everything from their alphabet to kids' science project, and even preparing them to go to kindergarten.
She came in and has been helping me build our preschool. We were both just really amped up and excited about preschool. Education obviously has always been something that's super important to her because she's been teaching for 30 years, and mainly like the 3 through 5 age group. And for my family, education has always been something that's really important to us, and so we just wanted to really build on that.
And Butcher says that book readings for kids will be coming back soon, every Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30. Reporting in Billings, I'm Shaquille Kozart with MTN News.
Thanks, Shaq. Now, the Art of Play is open 9 a.m. to 4 Monday through Friday and Saturday from 10 till 4 p.m. Each day it closes from 12:45 to 1:15 to sanitize everything and reorganize the space for the next groups of families. For more information, head to this story at ktvq.com. Well, some good news coming out of Montana State University Billings today. Just 15 days into spring semester, and the school is seeing an increase in both undergraduate and graduate student enrollment. From fall 2020 till right now, the university is seeing its largest increase in 10 years. University Chancellor Stephanie Hickswa says increased efforts to focus on retaining students and adherence to COVID protocols have had a positive impact. And with the pandemic still prevalent, healthcare support programs have seen a 10% increase in overall enrollment growth.
I'm really inspired that students are responding to the pandemic by looking at how they might be able to be helpful and going into healthcare careers. I know it's a high burnout profession, especially right now. And so the fact that students are looking at a healthcare profession is really inspiring.
And the Master of Public Relations program saw the greatest growth with 42%. And in terms of demographics, the university's Native American Indian student population grew by 21% at City College. There's also a nearly 7% increase in Hispanic student enrollment at the university campus. Hickswa notes that the university is also seeing more adult learners returning to college. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, a story that warms the heart on a cold Montana day. Snow angels who are stepping in to help Montana healthcare workers. Also ahead, the heat is on. The Colstrip girls hope to continue their winning streak. Their game plan straight ahead.
As you take a look at the Stockman Bank weather cam, it looks colder out there than the temperatures actually registered for today. 21 was the official high at the airport. We picked up some of that light snow along the way. Forecast details coming up.